Hello, this is Steve. It's Friday, the 18th of August, and I thought I'd do a video of the last hour and 5 minutes of the week. It's Friday. So, what you're looking at here are three things that I thought I would just bunch into one. The first thing I'll talk about real quick is the status box. I won't spend a lot of time on that one, but in any event, this is version 2, which is not available yet, and none of this stuff is available yet other than the little helix is okay, but the logic behind the scenes that you're going to see here, which we are calling Remy, is not available yet. But the word got out, and so now it's kind of like spreading around, and I needed to, give you some information on where we're at. So the status box, which should be available hopefully within the next week or so, just what has been incorporated with this newer version is the most important one is the AP and the DD. Everybody's doing these prop firms nowadays, and so the account peak shows your overall peak, and the drawdown will let you know how much you have left to play with. Most of the $50,000 accounts from all these different prop firms is about $2,500. So that will tell you where you're at right in your face, let you know. If it starts getting lower, I say half of that, if under 1,500 or something like that, you really got to start taking some smaller targets. And if you're over than that, then you could probably let it play. But needless to say, that's where it is. And it can be changed for realized P&Ls or unrealized P&Ls for depending on which firms you're using. This happens to be unrealized from Apex. So in any event, the other things you're seeing is Helix. Now, Helix in the background is displaying all the moving averages, background color. The logic, I have it paused right now. Helix is paused. It's not the one doing the trades. I just wanted to use that for visual as far as where my moving averages and my no trade zone, things like that are at. What you're seeing behind the scenes as far as the logic that triggers the orders is Remy. That happens to be an indicator logic, and that's going to trip the trades, and I'm just viewing it on Helix. Eventually, things are all going to get together, and um, you know we'll go from there. But this is the last hour of the day, and 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 that's where we go. So this currently has dynamic targets and dynamic stops, meaning that it's looking at the market, it's looking at what it's been doing over the last period of time, and it's going to adjust accordingly. So you'll see here in a minute, or you'll see right there it is. If you notice, the target just moved up a little bit because we weren't getting there, and that's where it's at. So we started our day at was 206. Now you notice the realized P&L down there is 204 because the first thing that it's going to do is take commissions, and so that's what you got to deal with. I do not have your overall account balance on there, and it's on purpose. What your overall balance is, your $2,500 margin. That's your balance. So that's your account. That's what you have to maintain. Okay, so there's our target there, and I've chopped this video up a little bit. I've kept the price the same, so I've chopped it at the end of one, and then I started it again before a new trade goes on because I wanted to keep the account balance the same. You see right there, it just chopped a little bit, and we're going to get into the next trade very shortly, and that line you see right there, those are just chop box areas. I call them chop box, but they're just pivots, things like that. Okay, so you just saw it again move a little bit, and we're going to go ahead and take that. Now what you're seeing here is these moving averages. Right now it's going to take, if it takes a trade, it's going to take a trade in that no trade zone. But that no trade zone is around that big moving average, and that big moving average has a high ability to bounce from there. So that's why we have a no trade zone. It didn't do anything. It's just I killed time, so I just spliced it right there because nothing was happening. So moving forward, eventually I can get into another one. Again, I don't like going into those, so we'll have to reevaluate that and kind of see what we want to do with that. I believe this one actually loses, and you can understand why I don't like going into these big moving averages from higher time frames, because they have a tendency to hold or certainly bounce around a little bit. Same with VWAP. I have a no trade zone around VWAP too, which you don't even see. I don't even know where it is right now. It's probably further on down. But needless to say, there's a no trade zone around VWAP also. For that reason, it has a tendency to bounce around. So this one actually goes to a full stop, bouncing off that big moving average, and that's why we have the no trade zone. So splicing it again, coming back down. our balance is, starting to go up there. We're now at what, 15:38, so we have 20 minutes left. Now this one here, I've working with some ATM strategy. You see right there. I've got it set to go at 41 ticks, actually, so $10. It's going to go to break even +1, because if it's going to go that much, we don't want to get popped out. We don't want to give a full stop on something that we've already been up on. So we're just going to tighten it up. Now, because of the fact that it's the end of the day and we have 15 minutes left, I did manually move the target or the stop trailing a little bit, because it does hit the target, but I did move the stop up manually just because of the late part of the day and I didn't want to go all the way back to break even. So I did it right there, and I didn't have my target zones on. I haven't used my target zones because we are, practicing this, or should I say studying this and whatever, so I don't want to have it manipulated with the target zone. But if you go under tools, you'll find information on the target zone and what that does. The shark teeth there are the high of the day, high, low of the day. There is also a no trade zone that can be turned on within Helix if you don't want to trade around that area. However, I don't mind trading around that area, so I have mine off, and that's why you don't see a big orange thing. Okay, so I spliced the tape a little bit, and I think we're pretty much, yeah, this is 2 minutes too. I think there's one more trade. I don't particularly care for it because we're in this no trade zone area and we're bouncing around this big moving average. So, but it does take a short going into it. And yeah, there it is. And so you see, because of the time of the day now, we're at 1600, and it's a Friday. I probably should have turned it off. I turn it off now. You can see down the bottom. I just did it right there, trading disabled. I probably should have done it sooner, not even taking this trade, but whatever. So, and I knew I moved that target there to above the moving average only because, again, late in the day. If during the day, I don't have a problem letting it go. I mean, yesterday it was like $1,800 or something at the end of the day. So I really don't care so much. This one, I just, because of the moving average right there and because of the late time of the day, I just wanted to be done with it. So other than that, it's going to fiddle around here for a little bit, and that'll be it. So if anybody is interested in getting on the mailing list or subscribing to the YouTube, sometimes I don't send out emails, so you might very well might want to join the YouTube, or subscribe and get notifications on YouTube. So if I post a video, you'll get it. But with the emails, I send out emails to related topics. So Helix, entry signals, status box, discipline manager, target zone I don't do too much on, but things like that. So if you're interested in any of those specific emails, then you can you would just put your email address, go to the web page, go on any tool that you're interested in, and then just put your address on there, and that'll be the end of it. So without further ado, I think this wraps up the weekend. And we finished the day at 8:11. Well, just got cut off there, but anyway, we ended the day at 8:11.62. So if anybody's interested in the entry signals, this is where it's gonna go eventually. I'm probably gonna remove these. Luna is the new Remy. Probably gonna remove these, but that's where they are. If you're interested in the emails, though, to keep updated on status, you would want to subscribe to this one or this one for all communications. And so when I do send some information about updates and things like that, it's going to be specific to that, and people that have subscribed to this will get those. The other one is under Helix. It's a strategy, as compared to entry signals was an indicator, by the way. So, and here's the one for this one here. And again, all of them are going to be over here, but this one, if you want to get involved in that one, and then status box, indicator, same thing. And there's videos all on here. There's a file if you want to go play with it. But again, this is version 1, not the version 2 that I'm talking about. And again, you could subscribe to this one here. But all these have videos. I don't have, oh, maybe I do have a, let me go back here. On entry signals, I think I do have a video from a webinar. Yeah, we did a webinar a while back ago. So if you're interested in kind of get an idea of what those are about. And then the same thing, if you're interested in Helix, there's a video on that one, wherever that is under videos right here. Now those are setups from Helix themselves. You can watch 20 seconds anyway. And if you're interested, Discipline Manager has its own video, a bigger one. There's more down here. Settings video, there's a lot there. But in any event, if you want to keep up to date, if you want to see some webinars, you can go to webinars. There's a bunch of old past stuff that we've done. So, and then more importantly, if you want to hang out and kind of keep abreast of what's going on, just click on the trade room during these times. It'll pop you right in there. It's just a Zoom. It's a little quieter in there when it's busy. We unmute ourselves and can talk if you have questions, things like that. I could do a little technical support in there if you're having some issues. But if it's a busy market, we're kind of concentrating. Social hour down here, that's how this was designed for, chit chat. So usually people are in there all the time, just chit chatting. They come and go. So I try to be there all the time for technical support. So, but people come and go, and sometimes there's multiple people. Sometimes, you're the only one. Doesn't matter. You can hang out a little bit. I've seen it more often than not. People go into the room and nobody's in there, so they leave. 2 seconds later, somebody else comes in. So the Discord's relatively new. Our Skype traders group, if you're interested in that one, send me an invite, and I could just dump you right into the group. No big deal. Discord's still relatively new. I do monitor it, but no one really talks a lot in there, and I'm still kind of learning it. And since there's not that many people in there, I don't really have a lot to do with it. I think the Skype group is much more busier, if you will. You need to get a hold of me here. So anyway, this is where you want to be. So I think that's it. Enjoy your weekend, and that'll be the end of it. Thanks.